So two aspects to the debate today, and let's raise both. One, the investigation. Two, the political battle. Are hostile powers now trying to fish in troubled waters? Joining me on India First, Vikram Singh is former Director General of the Uttar Pradesh Police, and he'll give us an investigation perspective. Ghanshyam Tiwari represents the Samajwadi Party, and Pradeep Bhandari is the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Ghanshyam Tiwari, first, the targeting of police after the survey, and then the finding of this ammunition with POF markings. Sir, is there something more sinister afoot at Sambhal? What do you make of your party MP accusing the police of perhaps planting evidence?
Good evening, Gaurav, to you, the viewers, and my fellow esteemed co-panelists. I think it is bizarre, and India Today is a very respected channel. I respect your viewers. It is bizarre that we are now debating a rather foolish outcome of this conspiracy that we have accused the sitting government, the Batenge Katenge party, its sloganeering Batenge Katenge chief minister, of hatching. Now, why is it bizarre? We have a respected former DGP. India sees around 29,000 murders a year. This is NCRB data. You look at attempt to murder, the charge that was there on Adityanath as per India Today website before he became the chief minister. There are tens of thousands of attempt to murder cases every year. Have you ever heard, Gaurav, ever reported in a single of these cases, many of them would be violent crimes, any Pakistan-made bullet? One. So the bizarre thing is, when you have year over year thousands of cases of use of gun, suddenly in a conspiracy that we say we have accused in the parliament, a government that has hatched the conspiracy, believes in the Batenge Katenge mantra, comes up with a conspiracy theory to evade a very basic thing. These people must be tried for murder. They have blood on their hands. 5 innocent people are dead. And if the people who are responsible, the DM, the SP, if they set out a diktat that nobody can go till November 30 and then December 10, and we have a Batenge Katenge chief minister who stands accused along with his administration, it is the responsibility of SP. We had a 15-member delegation including 5 members of parliament, 4 MLAs, leader of opposition in Uttar Pradesh, leader of the house in Uttar Pradesh, leader of Uttar Pradesh Samajwadi Party, and now the leader of opposition in the country. On one end, you have a prime minister who is missing from the parliament. Have you seen the prime minister, Gaurav, in the parliament anytime this session? So we have a prime minister who's missing from the parliament, who doesn't do a press conference, who will not hold himself accountable. We have Batenge Katenge chief minister. We have an administration who's responsible, will not allow anybody. And finally, you showed the bite of the Goli Maro fame Giriraj Singh. When Akhilesh Yadavji, national president and former chief minister of Uttar Pradesh, in a very responsible way, fact by fact, in the highest house of the country that represents 140 crore people, was piecing together in barely 2.5 minutes the entire incident. 2 senior ministers were interjecting him. One was Giriraj Singh of the Golivaro fame, and the other was Piyush Goyal. By the way, SECI, the Adani scam, the former ministers in that were Piyush Goyal, R.K. Singh and Prahlad Joshi.
Speak uninterrupted. Now I want Pradeep Bhandari to respond. Pradeep Bhandari, Samajwadi Party accuses the police or the administration of planting evidence. Explain the Pakistan Ordnance Factory marked ammunition that's been recovered at Sambhal. Is it an attempt to paint the rioters or innocents, as Samajwadi Party calls them, in a corner, sir?
Well, Gaurav, we cannot expect anything better from a party which had agreed to take away the cases of Ayodhya and Banaras blast accused when it was in power. We cannot expect anything better from a party which had pleaded to get mercy petition to Yaqub Menon. So the Samajwadi Party has a history of shooting the car sevaks and supporting terror sympathizers and asking for mercy petition from terrorists. So they will not understand issues of national interest where India has to be first. So I understand Ghanshyam's point of view. His party's characteristic is not pro-India. Now let me come to the issue. Gaurav, the point is simple. Rahul Gandhi says that he has a constitutional right as an LOP to go to a district where section 163 as per BNS and 144 as per earlier CRPC is imposed. My question is, Rahul Gandhi does not have the constitutional right to snatch the constitutional right of the common citizens. There was an individual who had to take his young
Sir,
kid to
I'll
a
come to
surgery.
that
There was a
aspect in
man,
just a
there was a
moment.
young
I'll come to
Dalit man
Rahul
who had
Gandhi in
to
just
go
a
to
moment.
Meerut.
Sir, this debate is
Yes.
structured in a way. I want a response on Pakistan Ordnance Factory marked ammunition first. I want to stay on the security aspect. I'll come to the political aspect in just a moment. Please
Gaurav, can I
respond
just make
on
one very
Ghanshyam
quick one
Tiwari.
sentence?
Ghanshyam Tiwari, just
One very
hold
quick.
on.
One
I want an
sentence, please.
initial
am.
response.
With all due
Initial
respect,
response. I'm
Pradeep.
sorry, Ghanshyam Tiwari, nobody's
am.
derailing this. Nobody's derailing this. I want a
No, just
direct
one
answer
quick
from the
point I wanted to
BJP
make.
on Pakistan Ordnance Factory marked ammunition being found. Samajwadi Party accuses you of planting evidence. Respond, sir.
Well, Gaurav, I can tell you and assure you that we are not a party or a government which plants evidence. If there is something which is found, it is our duty as a government which believes in nation first to absolutely investigate it. Now, Samajwadi Party for its particular vote bank does not want it to be investigated because it is a party who has a historic track record of backing terrorists for its particular vote bank. They have pleaded for supporting terrorists in the past, which I said on your show. So we are not here to plant it. If there is a investigation inquiry which has been found, the central investigative agencies will investigate it. It's a matter of national security. Pakistan cartridges are found there, as you've reported in your thing. My question is, why is Samajwadi Party questioning the intent? With that logic and charge, these are the same people who questioned surgical strike. When surgical strike was done by armed forces, they said proof kahan. That proof kahan mentality is again back here ki bhai kaise aa gayi cartridge?
Let me bring in
One
Dr.
quick
Vikram
point.
Singh. Let me bring in Dr. Vikram Singh because as far as India Today's viewers are concerned, they must be very clear. Dr. Vikram Singh, as former DGP of Uttar Pradesh and someone who's dealt with both terror and crime, what does the recovery of ammunition, which the Uttar Pradesh police and the Sambhal SP has gone on record to say POF marked ammunition, Pakistan Ordnance Factory. Sir, is this planting evidence? Does this indicate that there's something more sinister?
Gaurav ji, good evening and good evening, esteemed panelists. I would say that I've been the DIG of this area for 3 years, where Sambhal was a part of district Moradabad. And I know the entire history. What we see is just the tip of the iceberg. And Pakistan cartridges are not Pakistan made. They are Pakistan Ordnance Factory who manufactured the cartridges for the Pakistan Armed Forces. Then the 9mm cartridges from American service weapons. And also the 12 bore weapons. They are not service ammunition. They are used by the private people. And the Pakistan connection goes back to a couple of decades earlier when Sana Umar, Maulana Asim Umar was a designated terrorist, belonged to Sambhal, and he ran away to Pakistan, and there he joined the Al-Qaeda, met no other than Osama bin Laden, and Zawahiri made him the head of AQIS. This is the deep connection. I'm giving the history of just one person of Sambhal. If this is not, and he was a designated terrorist, world number 10, as far as the gradation of terrorists was concerned. He was shot dead by American, NATO, and Afghan forces in Afghanistan. And if this is not a Pakistan connection, then what is? And I could give you 4 more, but there's less time. He indeed was number 1. And if they say there is no Pakistan connection, and this is implanted by the police, many such irresponsible politicians have said that the police plant weapons, that the police have an armory of illegitimate weapons. I really don't know. This is a figment of their imagination, or they seem to be reading too many jasusi novels to have this kind of an allegation. Perhaps they are judging the professional UP police by their own third-class standards. I will not take the name of that leader, but the leader is pretty senior, and Ghanshyamji would have understood who that leader is, who's making these baseless allegations. Because people judge others by their own standards. And in any case, if you're so distrusting of the UP police, don't take their protection. Don't use their services. You can't pick and choose that. When it comes to protection, it is the UP police. When it comes to abusing, it is the UP police. Thank you.
Okay, Ghanshyam Tiwari, that's a serious charge that comes from a man who's worn Uttar Pradesh police uniform for close to 4 decades, if not more. Is the opposition playing into the hands of hostile powers that may want to fish in troubled waters? Are you trying to give what the Uttar Pradesh police calls are rioters? They were pelting stones at the police when work was happening, and police are releasing their pictures. We are putting out pictures of the rioters, the stone pelters, and the men in masks. Sir, when all of that is there, should the Samajwadi Party or the Congress not wait for investigations to be over instead of giving a clean chit to rioters, sir?
Gaurav, at one end it is funny, and other end it is tragic. Funny because the respected DGP, former DGP, has to go to the ghost of a dead terrorist to prove a bullet. By the way, my question was very simple. India sees at least 100,000, 1 lakh crimes with respect to gun every year. Not one. I challenge India today to show one instance
Sir,
where.
that's not the
Please
point.
allow
The
me. Please
point
allow me.
is
I did not interrupt anybody.
in Sambhal,
Please, you
if
did not.
POF
You did
marking,
not interrupt
marked
anybody.
ammunition
Please,
has been found,
please.
should it be
I'll
investigated?
say my point.
On what
I'll say my
basis are you
point.
saying it is planted?
I will say my point. You can be nervous about it, but I'll say my point.
Why should I be nervous? I'm
Please don't
absolutely
interject.
comfortable
Please
with
don't
facts
interject.
emerging.
Please don't
facts.
interject. Please
Because
interject.
it's for
Very
India
basic,
to remain India first.
Very basic question to your viewers. 1 lakh crimes involving gun. Bizarre, for the first time in 10 years, at least I am hearing after Mr. Modi came and Mr. Yogi Katenge came, that a bullet made from Pakistan factory has been found. This is bizarre. Okay. That's point number 1. Point number 2, 5 people are dead. In the house where the Prime Minister was missing, and the Goli Maro
Sir,
came.
you're repeating yourself, and for the interest, since brevity has to be a forte, you've made this point last time. Pradeep Bhandari, I want you to respond. 5 innocents have been killed is what Samajwadi Party insists. Innocent people were killed by the Uttar Pradesh police response, sir.
Gaurav, this is the same party. If you remember, Ram Gopal Yadav justified stone pelting. This is a video on ANI where Ram Gopal Yadav says कि भाई stone pelting तो होगी. So he's justifying individuals who are carrying stones and throwing stones at policemen. This is exactly the same alliance when in 2611 the Pakistani terrorists had come to Indian territory. They could not do a surgical strike because their entire focus was कि भाई terror तो हो गया, dozier खेलेंगे. Today Ghanshyam is saying कि how could a Pakistani cartridge be found? With Ghanshyam's logic, if in UPA era if there is a terror attack, he would say हाँ terror हो गया, accused आ गया, इसीलिए जाके नहीं पकड़े जाते थे. My charge is has Samajwadi Party a special investigation team called Samajwadi Party Investigation Team where they have more facts than our investigative agency, then Ghanshyam should enlighten. If he's not doing so he's on this show backing stone pelters, backing terror accused and saying that terror can happen, we should take terror lightly.
Okay. Let me take it back to Ghanshyam Tiwari since you leveled a direct allegation.
Purely vote bank.
Stone pelters or innocents? Stone pelters or innocents? My question to you, Mr. Tiwari.
I appeal to the viewers. 10 lakh crimes associated with guns in the last 10
years. Again, you're repeating that for the third time, and I'm sorry, we don't have time to waste. We do not have time to waste. Vikram Singh, as former DGP, I want to understand from you. I'm sorry, Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, you have to come up with points. On what basis are you saying they're innocent if the police say they are stone pelters and they had country-made weapons with them? What is the evidence that you have to say that they're innocent? Police are saying, look at their faces, look at the weapons, the stones in their hands. Why are they covering their faces? Why are they masked? Why are they pelting stones? Ghanshyam Tiwari, you have a response to that, sir? Very clearly not. Dr. Vikram Singh, the Samajwadi Party insists they are innocents. On what basis is the police saying that they are stone pelters or rioters, or perhaps they are the ones who had those weapons? Where is the evidence to say that the rioters had the weapons?
Gauravji, there is no evidence. They have a compulsion. And the compulsion is to garner minority votes and fish for them in such a situation. And to back every rioter. Right or wrong is just not a question, and that is a non-issue for them. They have to back everyone. And the fact, you very, like a gentleman, you said 5 innocent. There are those who said 5 were martyred, 5 shaheed ho gaye. What could be more ridiculous than the fact that they have got stinging, scorching, they seem to have died in crossfire, and the postmortem says that probably the bullet was .3154, which is again a civilian weapon. They were probably shot dead in the crossfire of rioters, and then you say they are martyrs. You even announce ex gratia amount, a grant of 5 lakhs on each of them without waiting for the judicial inquiry to come, whether they were innocent or guilty, or they were indeed guilty of attacking the police. You should have at least waited for the findings of the jury. You did not, but you thought this is the iron is hot, let us strike and get the maximum vote bank advantage, and this is exactly what happened.
Is this vote bank politics? Because if this is vote bank politics, it's extremely dangerous. Whether it's the government or the opposition, it must be the country that must be first, always and every time. We'll track this story very closely. If they are innocent, the government must be held to account. But in case they're guilty, in case they are rioters, in case they are stone pelters, in case they fired the weapons, then the strictest possible action needs to be taken against those that incited a mob of rioters. We'll track that story.